Hi there, welcome back. Okay, today involves back on this thing. I want to get rid of the Toblerone-esque tail and put a light tube under there in order to round it off. So that involves firstly liberating the old French light tube from the previous under tray, because that's already made and I'm just going to use that, and then cutting the top off at the right angle, getting the right angle in the first place, and then somehow laminating it in there so it's all in one piece. I have no idea how it's going to work or what it's going to turn out like at this point. Wish me luck, let's get stuck in. Right, here we are. This is the tunnel. That's the light tube that I want to liberate from this old under tray. And I guess you could say it's a shame that I'm going to cut this up, but I can't use it. That bolts to the old frame, which I've cut up now, and it goes under the old tail that I'm not using. And I guess it's the same as the old tail. I've put all the time and effort into that, but I'm not going to use it. So rather than buy more materials and then have this cluttering the place up for the next 20 years and then throw it away anyway, I might as well use it. So I'm going to cut there. The new light is going to be French down inside like that, but not slanted in that way with the kind of bologna slice torpedo tube exit, because it's going to be flush at the back, kind of turned up rather than like that. So effectively sort of that bit onwards I don't need, so I only need that kind of bit, and I'm not going to put it right deep down. You can't, it has to be visible from the side. So chit chat, get on with it. Just going to cut it off there like that and just liberate that bit of the pipe, and then I'll work out a way to fit that on that. And I'm thinking that that might work quite well as an exhaust outlet in the side of the tail later on. So I shall keep that. Right, anyway, that's that off. That's the first cut. Here we are. Now it's going to be horizontal. The bike's on the bench. and the bench is horizontal, the wheels are both down, the suspension is where it's going to be, so that is the horizontal plane. So when I cut it absolutely perfect, then it will stay that way, it will ride like that, which is how I want it. So that will sit there. Now I've just got to curve that over and just make a nice round ellipse out of it, which I can shape later on. Next thing is to cut a little notch out of this so that fits just a little bit higher, because I want that just up there but not facing that way. It's got to face dead straight backwards like that. Right, a little bit more to do. Right, nice little bit, there it is. Got it. Right, thinking on this, just kind of giving you thought processes as I'm going along. The back end of this was very slightly asymmetrical, and you stand behind it with that absolutely parallel with the bench and therefore the ground, and everything lined up along the centre. This side was about 1 millimetre or 2 out, whereas this side was straight. So to correct that at this point, what I'm doing is lots of fiberglass on that side, as you saw. That's really properly bonded now, ain't going anywhere. On this side, I'm going to weaken it. It's too strong to just pull it in. Won't do that. It'll end up always wanting to pull outwards. So it's going to slot that down there with the Dremel wheel, the little saw blade. Just weaken it up, make that nice and soft and squashy. Then I can clamp it in with a pair of grips and then fiberglass it and fiberglass the outside so that it stays in that position forever, and it'll also then be completely symmetrical in the centre. Right, let's get on with it. Right, that's got it on. Looks a bit of a mess right now, but it's in. It's absolutely beef, not going anywhere, and it's straight, dead straight, that way, everything's right. The next thing is to put a little curve into the top here, and that will just be some fun and games with the fiberglass. I'm going to put a little bit of mesh just under there, just to hold it, that once that's done will then pull out and get rid of it underneath, just so that it's there, something just to hold it, stop it from sinking in, make a little curve. And then I'll have to let everything cure for 24 hours and come back and grind it all into shape next. Let's get on with it. Right, and done. That's another one. Okay, absolutely cooking. You might have seen, if you're looking closely, little wisps of smoke coming off that, fumes. It was absolutely cooking, and it's still warm now, something like half an hour later on. It's drying out nicely. Now what I did with that was put 8 or 10 layers. I rolled it up in the center to get a bit of a tube, and then just stuck loads more on top. Now there'll be air bubbles galore under that, but it doesn't matter because it's not load bearing. It's nothing to do with strength. It's just to get the shape. And what I can do with that now is, with the sander outside on a windy day, grind that. Literally, I'm going to sand that back so it comes along, taking the peak off, and now that's kind of smooth. That will just come along, roll over, and I intend for it to just be a curve, literally an undulation in the tail in the middle, just to bring these sides down. And that's why I put so much of it on there, so I can grind it back. And when I get to bubbles as I grind through, then I'll just fill them as I did before. So it's just a little bit more lemonade to go. I've got another whole litre of resin to go, loads more of the tissue, so that's just not a problem. That's the next one. And that's it. Now, once this is done across there and shaped and smoothed off, then I'm going to box it in underneath. Not the whole thing, obviously, that's going to have an exhaust in there, but just that tube at the back, I'm just going to box that in underneath so you can't see it at all. So all you'll see from the back is a solid looking tail with a tube down it about 2 inches deep and a light down inside. I think that will look quite nice, and it'll give me loads of room underneath to hide the exhaust up under there if I ever get to that. So there we are. I think that's enough chat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your amazing encouragement. I really appreciate it. It's driving me forward, keeping me going. Take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.